Hello and welcome. This is Rooflemonger, my friends. We got a pretty substantial update coming to Mortal Kombat 1. So you're probably well aware that the T-1000 is our next character, our next DLC, coming out March 18th for people who have the pass. Also, this is when Madame Bo, our newest cameo, comes out, and she is also free to own, so that's pretty cool. But we have now learned, along with some gameplay details about the T-1000 and Madame Bo, that there is some major updates coming in the form of all new moves and all new mechanics for the characters, at least some of the cast, in this upcoming T-1000 patch. Now, in the last few months, if you followed along with some of the news that's been happening, this might be the last patch, like the last major patch anyways, for Mortal Kombat 1. I don't know the future. I can only speculate, right? But if it is, then they're definitely doing some big things on their way out. But we'll see if that's actually going to be the case or not. But let's talk some of these new moves and mechanics. And let's specifically talk the mechanics as, I guess you could say, the Tarkatans, Baraka and Mileena, are getting new gameplay mechanics. So both Baraka and Mileena now can exchange their Fatal Blow for effectively an install buff. So you don't go directly into an attack, you instead have the buff live, and it works differently for both of them. Baraka turns him to a very big fan of the upcoming City of the Wolves, I guess, as he can do effectively what's a Rev Excel cancel. He can cancel special moves into other special moves while the buff is live. Needless to say, this completely reinvents his combo structure, as you can just much more freeform do just about anything into anything. And you can see here also in more enhanced stabby stabs, right? And that's just kind of crazy. Mileena, same deal. So exchanging the Fatal Blow for a buff and install, and so Baraka can do specials into specials. She can do normals into normals. So she can cancel her regular strings into other regular strings, free of cost, by the way. Which once again just completely reinvents combo structure as you would know it. Like you can see here, start string, cancel another string, and then cancel into sweep of all things. Then bounces off Lao's hat, another string starter, and then just more combo ability. Now I did mention it's all free, right? There is a cost. It does have a duration, and at the end of the duration of the buff, then she'll basically cough a bit, and you're going to be wide open for whatever they're going to do to you. But yeah, really cool. I like that specifically thematic. It's Tarkatan only. So Baraka gets to do specials into specials. Mileena gets to do normals into normals, or strings into strings. And it definitely would just breathe new life into these characters, to say the least. That they have so much more offensive and combo potential than they did before. Because, you're not always going to be able to land the Fatal Blow, but with the install, at the very least, you can always go for the install and try your luck with the new pressure and combos. And I did mention more special moves as well, so let's get into that, because a lot of members of the cast have all new specials and new tricks to work with. Like Kenshi now has a new move that lets him transition out of the stance, also armored seemingly, and that's really cool. For Reiko, they mentioned there's going to be some changes to his run, how his run pressure works, but for Tremor can now turn into a rock and become an interactable. So shades of crystalline Tremor here, so you can see he turns all jade, right? And you can jump off of him. And then, as you can see here, keep in mind, Reiko going for the air grab. The EX grab is a mid. And on top of being able to jump off Tremor, it was explained in the Kombat Kast, where all this info comes from, that you also will be able to throw him. So just more utility. And you can see here that Reiko can cancel the run stance into air throw as well. So that was added not too long ago, and now it's getting more utility. More fun stuff, Striker. Striker's getting new moves. So he's getting the classic machine pistol. So he's enhanceable in some form, and then he just unloads on you while holding you down. It's probably going to be Omega Plus on block. And they're giving Shao a way to basically refuse the axe callback. You can see here when it should return, he'll glow in some way. I don't know the inputs yet, but he can basically just stay in his unarmed stance longer. And in unarmed stance, he's a mix-up monster, right? So that gives him more depth of gameplay. Sub-Zero is getting new moves, the Polar Palm, which, as you can see here, is just another way you can freeze the enemy and start combos. The regular version is a mini freeze. You can still combo afterwards. The enhanced version is just a proper full freeze. As you see here, they can do a full jump over their head and keep the combo going. So this will reinvent every combo route you have. It's going to lead to a lot more damage, a lot more potential. pretty big deal for Sub-Zero, I would have to say. For Tanya, you can do a hit confirm or a string or whatever into EX buff and then still combo out after the fact, right? So that's going to be another big deal where it's just going to just give her so much more pressure and combo ability. Like, this is the kind of stuff I've been talking about for quite some time. Like, yes, Mortal Kombat 1 had a shakier start. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to pretend that didn't happen. But the amount of changes, the amount of like quality of life each patch is adding, not just like here's a balanced patch here, there, that changes a couple characters like stuff. And yes, they do that as well. They tweak the numbers and variables, sure. But adding all new mechanics, adding all new moves that drastically change the characters and their quality of life, that's truly fantastic. That just makes me very happy to see. Compared to like, say, Mortal Kombat 11, where the patches were few and far between, and they were very scared to change anything of real consequence for a very long time. This NRS, I'm a very big fan of. Makes every patches feel extra special. Now, besides all that, they did showcase Madame Bo and the T-1000. The T-1000, not too much new, as the trailers mostly gave us a really good idea what was going on. Madame Bo, though, specifically I want to highlight because there's some very interesting stuff there. So first off, she does have a projectile ambush call. That's nice. That's always handy. Good basic building block of pressure. She has a summon call that'll just kind of kick you in the head. I do actually love that showcases, you know, she's no spring chicken, right? She's like, oh, my back is so hurting. Like, I like that. Doesn't matter for gameplay, but I love little touches like that. And as we saw in the trailer, so she can basically extend into a full combo if you burn all of your cameo meter. So if you got the hit confirm and like it's going to be a game winner, you might as well. It might get like a bigger combo than you otherwise might. And the slide that we've seen in the trailers works much the same. So if you basically call, then enhance it, take all the cameo bar, then she'll just lock you down and place in an extended combo, and then just do whatever comes naturally after the fact. And what's perhaps the most interesting about Madame Bo is she has a drink mechanic where she'll just serve you drinks over the course of the match. It's right below your health bar. And as is the way in fighting games, more drinks, more better. So at level 1 drink, it unlocks drunken dashes. And these dashes are just straight up better than, you know, your regular backdash and forward dash. So hey, mid-screen mobility. Also, if you're willing to spend just a little bit of meter, you can convert these dashes into effectively dash cancels and just create custom combos. Which, needless to say, as you can see here, dash cancel, it takes bar, sure, but a very, very powerful mechanic. Now, seemingly, given the video we're shown here, this will take all your drinks regardless. It should only take 1 drink to do, but if you have even 3 drinks, just doing it takes all your drinks out of the gate. They're not going to let you do it 3 times in a row, basically. Level 2 gives access to the big belly flop dive bomb, which is a big old bounce. So you need to have 2 drinks up, and it takes 1 drink to do. Given the nature that's, you know, meterless launcher, and I'm assuming if it takes a resource that'll be safe on block, it could be very interesting. And at 3 drinks, you get access to the Bo Raicho Puke. Remember, Madame Bo, Bo Raicho, they're the same character. Also, funnily enough, she will refuse to serve you after you puke for a little bit. So no more drinks, you're done, right? Given how it looks like it's probably going to be unblockable. Just like, you know, the Bo Raicho puddle usually is. So that's definitely very powerful at 3 drinks. Of course, you got to earn it. You got to take time out of the match to take the drinks in. But just overall, Madame Bo looks like a very fun and interesting cameo and a great addition to the game. For the T-1000, just for completion's sake, not too much that we couldn't already infer from the trailer. Like, that's his back 2. It is an overhead, as I speculated. It is holdable as well for a big bounce. And you can cancel the hold and then fake out, go low, something like that. T-1000 has a variety of basic pistol shots, like this is just a base shot, 2 hits. If you choose to enhance it, then more shots. You can also advance forward while doing it. As we saw in the trailer, if you enhance that, then you're just running forward and turns into a hit grab. As far as the references go, yes, he has Cabal's hook swords, and enhanced hook swords create a bounce okay state you can combo from. Shao Kahn's Wrath Hammer he has as a move is indeed an overhead, and given that he also has, you know, suite of regular lows as part of his strings, means his overhead low game is going to be pretty okay. And yes, the liquid metal always comes back to him as well. The dive blob we saw before pretty much works as advertised. The enhanced version actually goes into his one of two stances, in that he can just kind of travel across the ground. From which hit 1 to go into spikes, hit 2 to go into a launching uppercut, the Glacius uppercut if you will, and he can hit 3 to cancel and just do nothing. Enhanced version is a low, hits right away, once again helping his overhead low game. And the armored stance is very interesting. So we have only 2 options from it, but it's only 2 options you need. It's either a mid or a command grab. So if you're scared and you block, get grabbed. If you try to do something, get hit by the mid, right? So I speculated it was based on either damage or number of hits to break it, as we saw in the trailer. Turns out it's both. So either get more than 2 hits, as in 3 or more, or break the damage threshold, and then he basically deconstitutes and falls into a gloopy blob. And if you enhance it, then it doubles the amount of hits and damage it takes to break the stance. And keep in mind, the whole time he's walking to you, if he catches you, once again, get hit by a mid, get hit by the grab, right? So you kind of have to respect it, at least on paper. Time will tell with the gameplay, I suppose. And just overall thoughts about everything that we learned today is I'm just very, very impressed. I continue to be impressed by a lot of what's going on the Mortal Kombat 1 front. Once again, shaky start. Yeah, like let's call it for what it is. But they have been like working overtime on a lot of these patches, like ever since Chaos Reigns especially came out. Each patch has been just so like vast in terms of like what it's adding to the game, not just like tweak a value just does 1 more damage, 2 more damage, 3 more damage, or less. So, like all new moves and now all new mechanics are major changes. It's not like other fighting games don't get patches like this, but like it's like once a year or something like that, right? Versus this is happening every couple of months for Mortal Kombat 1. Whatever the future may hold, I hope this level of productivity holds through. And that said, my friends, that's the info for today, and that's the news for today, and that is the video. So, thank you very much for watching. Hope this video has found you well, and go out and play some Mortal Kombat.